Welcome back. This is episode number 367 of the Healthy Diabetic Podcast. I'm Coach Ken. If you don't know much about my story, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at the age of 25 in 2007. And I am joined today by my good partner in crime, Graham Hubbard. We are two type 1s that have just about 50 years of lived experiences living with type 1 diabetes. We talk about anything and everything type 1 diabetes on this show and really hope to inspire you to think differently about how you are living with this condition. Before we get started, please remember that nothing that you hear on this podcast should be considered medical advice or otherwise. Please always consult your medical team before making any changes to your diabetes management. Okay, Graham, what?
Tell me you saw the buffalo video from Yellowstone of the guy getting launched into the air. Did you not see this video?
No, I did not see
Okay.
this video.
It's July 13th. If you haven't seen this video, it's the funniest video. It's on the news right now. It's call it viral, right? It happened over the weekend, but the male bisons are in heat right now at Yellowstone, and it's just, dude, it's a 50-second video as clean as a video can get. There's a bison rolling around. There's a guy in the background taking a picture of it. The bison kind of sees the guy, so the guy's like, well, let me get out of the way. So he starts chasing him around the trees for maybe 15 seconds, gets close enough to him that he launches the guy in the air. I mean, this guy's 65 years old, dressing the part, overalls, a grandfather, and he is
Okay.
launched into the air, and the still frame is crazy. And the person taking the video, is the best part. It's this to me.
Oh, this wasn't the guy taking the video. This is someone else taking the video of this
Someone's
dude
from a
getting
distance,
mauled by this.
correct, taking a distance. And that was what I was going to say is it is a perfectly steady video until the dude gets launched in the air and the person's like shit. And at that point, the camera starts to like shake and tremble. But apparently the story is that the guy got up and he's laughed about it. And I don't even
Wow.
know if he was hospitalized or anything, but I mean, once you see it, you'll see it. And everybody who has seen it will know what I'm talking about. It is too
That's
funny.
hilarious.
Have you been to a national park ever? Like,
Yeah.
which
Gotcha.
did you have one on like a bucket list you wanted to go to?
No, just I'm gonna guess. I don't know if we've been to a national park. We've been to a lot of state parks. I don't know if we've actually been to a national park.
Okay. Have you been to Gettysburg, the Smokies? Have you
No.
done anything?
What are you talking about? Just because I
I love
haven't
your
gone to a
face.
national
I love your
park,
face.
I
Like,
haven't done anything?
do you have a
Okay,
national park on your bucket
you
list?
might not know this about me. So you
I
might
do
not
know
know
this
this
about
about
you. I
me.
know what you're gonna
You
say.
don't know this, but I don't know if I've ever told you this. So college, okay, this is my junior summer. I go and study abroad
This is
at
yeah.
Oxford. Have I told you this
Yeah,
story?
I know. This is like I said. It's like your one thing that you've done abroad.
My one thing, most people can't say they've done any of this stuff. So, like, come on, get out of here. I study abroad for a whole entire. Hold on, you got me this story now, you jerk. So, study abroad for one whole week during when I'm over there. I go with my buddies. We get a rail pass. We go from London to Berlin. We watch the World Cup final in Berlin. Then we go back, get back on the train, go to Spain, run with the Bulls. We go from run with the Bulls, then we go to Paris, go up the Eiffel Tower and say, this is stupid.
Nice.
Then we go to Amsterdam for 3 days, and then we go back to Oxford.
Yeah, you told
Right?
me.
So entire week of traveling Europe. Yes. And I haven't done anything.
Do you have you don't have like a national park on your like a bucket list like a lot of people want to go?
I mean, I would love to go see the Grand Canyon. I would love to go to the Smokies. I would love to go do that stuff, but no, I have not had the opportunity or created an opportunity to make that happen.
The Grand Can that's a good one. Grand Canyon. I always forget
Yeah.
as a national park. Yeah. But I know Yellowstone is huge too because of like the shows that everybody talks about and
Yeah.
COVID. I know this too. I have an uncle that went to he went to school in Montana. He went to literally Montana University. Is that where Josh Allen went. He didn't.
I don't
Josh
know.
Allen went to a weird school like that, but yeah. And so I know that he has a close connection to it, and the stories from his friends and families are just they hate their lives now. Everybody and their mother is moving to, those places that used to really appreciate the private
Mhm.
life and all this. And I think it's partially those shows, but I think COVID has really made an impact on the small cities that
Hmm.
used to be small. So
Yeah.
have you been to anywhere in Texas before?
Anywhere in yeah. I've been in San Antonio and Austin.
Okay, so you've been to Austin recently, or
No, it was a while ago.
yeah?
Probably,
Well,
I
then go back.
believe 7, 8
That's
years
the
ago,
last thing I
10
would
years
say.
ago.
Go back to Austin. That's another one that took pride in
Yeah.
being a
I
small
mean,
town that is
I loved Austin, I loved San Antonio, I loved all those places. So, a really good friend of mine, who's actually my best man at my wedding, lives in San Antonio.
old
So,
Riverwalk.
yeah, it's good stuff, man.
I had a question written down, and you are the perfect person to ask this. Somebody's just talking about it. Does intermittent fasting live up to the hype?
Yes.
Okay. In diabetic
Yes, it
terms, or
does. I
general
think
population terms?
so. I think both. So the thing that you have to remember, or we have to understand with intermittent fasting, is we have to take out all the people that say they're intermittent fasting and it's like a 12 to 16-hour fast. And you get to 16, okay, you can call it a intermittent fast. But really the research that I've always seen that has been done over the years of the benefits that you get from intermittent fasting really happen between that 16, 18 plus of fasting, right? And you have like this really small window, like a 4 to 6 hour out eating window. That's when you see the most benefits from intermittent fasting. So when we think about diabetes, okay, it could be really, really beneficial, and a lot of people do it. Like I have some really good friends that actually do it every single day, but it's more of like a 14, maybe a 16-hour fast. Like I could see like a 16-hour fast being something that could be pretty sustainable if you have the mental fortitude to be able to do it every day. With like for me, I'm typically done eating around 7:30, 8 o'clock. So that'd be what, noon, 1 o'clock for me. A 16, just about around that time frame. I mean, it obviously depends on when the last time you ate was. But here's the thing for diabetics that we have to understand. Just because I'm doing an intermittent fast, okay, if you're exercising in the morning and you're like me and your blood sugar drops, okay, it's gonna be very problematic because you might have to treat for a low, and now you've technically broken your intermittent fast. If you're drinking coffee in the morning, you're breaking your intermittent fast, which people think that coffee is part of intermittent fasting. From the things that I have heard, it is not. You've basically broken your intermittent fast. Now, if you're having 1 cup, does it really matter? If you're having, you know, 15, 20 grams of something in the morning to bring yourself up from a low during a workout, is that really matter? Well, you probably not, right? And you still continue with your fast throughout that whole entire window. Cool. That's how I would think about it. My body is so in tune with having like it's like almost the addiction factor of having to have some type of energy in the morning, having to eat something in the morning when I get to the gym. It's like this crazy habit thing, addictive habit thing. Like I have to have a perfect bar or a banana or something in the morning just to get my rev going. But then I've also, not on purpose, but have done a 16, hour fast, like not on purpose, just because I was on the floor the whole time. I didn't get away. Wasn't hungry. I didn't think about it. Like, so I didn't eat till 11, 12 o'clock. And I felt great the rest of the day. I didn't feel bloated. Like I didn't feel some of the symptoms that I have sometimes in the morning. So I think there is a lot of positivity to doing intermittent fasting. I don't think that you should or could do it really when you get to like 18 plus hours, when it's like a 4 to 6 hour meal window. I don't think that you can get the right. I don't, I would be questioning, not saying you couldn't do it. I'd be questioning if you can get enough calories, enough energy consumption in a 4-hour window or a 5-hour window. Maybe you could make the argument they could do it in a 6-hour window. I don't know if you could do it in a 4-hour window. It's hard. Okay.
Um,
You got that look. Tell me why you brought this up.
no. Do you know what TFD? Ever heard TFD?
TFD. No. I mean, I'm
Probably have
sure I
never heard
have, but
never heard this, but it's something I heard a long time ago and I loved it. Tolerance for discomfort.
heck yeah.
Okay, so TFD. TFD is a whole concept that like I play with myself while I run, especially, right? So like something I learned, dude, I've been a runner for 20 years, but something I learned that I fell in love with was a loop. Okay. So follow my concept. So there's nothing in this can sound so nerd, but talk to any runner about this and they can nerd out on you, whether you can just go back and out or a loop. And to me, there's something that is like brain healthy about a loop. Okay. For whatever reason, I don't want to see the same thing twice. I want to know that I have every mile, I have like mile markers or land markers. Those that
You know where you're
matters to
going.
me.
Yeah.
That matters to me because of one very important concept. I'm never going to be comfortable. I'm always going to be uncomfortable. So the idea of getting to the next point and follow my brain and all of this. The idea of getting to the next point is the most important thing because it's what I just said, TFT. So it's that tolerance for discomfort, right? So it's like, how long can you last to the next mile marker, to the next blah 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 with it's not even like a pace or it's this, it's like how much can you convince yourself that you're loving every second of this while you're going fast while you're like
Mhm.
does that make if that makes any sense and the more you do it the more you realize I can beat this that is harder for some of that is this is a thing that's more difficult for a lot of other people and all that I really did was set many goals for myself along the way, right? But what
Yeah.
I came to learn was that is what you would say a TFD, like a tolerance for discomfort. With the most important thing being that I'm only going to run for 38 or 40 minutes. Okay. So I'm still on the running analogy. I'm only going to be out there for 38 or 40 minutes so I can give it my all. Now, my reason for making this point is you talk about like the mental fortitude. And as you were talking, I said, well, like, how does mental fortitude play into intermittent fasting? And apparently, it's a huge
Mm.
topic. It's a huge concept. It's like what
Huge.
everybody thinks about it, this and that. But as you were talking, I realized that might be a huge, huge reason why I have such a sensitivity to insulin is that I do not think of it as a mental game. I have forced myself, just like I forced myself to run and exercise and be committed to it, to doing that every single day. It's just, I do not wake up with the worry of food decisions and what am I going to eat for this? What you just said, what's going to energize me for that? It's just, that does not play into my day at all. I eat at night, I consume at night. I have a small window where I'm consuming my calories and that discipline, that willpower, again, that mental fortitude is not a factor in it. So I wonder, I wonder, I wonder if intermittent fasting is, do you think it's like, do you think it is healthy for somebody that has a hard time doing it to set it as a weekly goal? Like I hear of somebody doing like a 30-hour every Wednesday, they go 30 hours
Mhm.
versus, I don't have advice for getting on where I am at. If that is the best thing for a diabetic, right? Where you just fast all day and you consume your calories from 6 to 10 p.m., right? So, yeah, I think so. The 18-hour thing is interesting. I don't know that that matters when you're talking about mental fortitude, but
It doesn't. It doesn't. It's the biological process, the biological factor. The mental fortitude happens because of the specific goal that you put in place. It happens because the biological process of your body needing energy to function throughout the day. What you've been able to do, Graham, and which is why this process is it's so easy for you to do this intermittent fasting till basically 6 p.m., which is crazy that you do this. You have taught your body to use the calories that it's getting from 6 to 10 p.m. from 11 or 10:01 to 6 p.m. the next day. You have taught your body to only focus on using the calories for your
Is
runs
that
and
true?
for
Is
the
that
rest of the
true?
day.
Is that actually
Yeah, 100% it's true
science-based
because
true?
it's absolutely
Well,
because
because my question, hold on, play the devil's advocate here to me real quick.
okay.
What if we've just been taught the wrong what if we've just been taught the wrong thing?
So we can
Why
we can
do
think
you
of
have to
this
wait. Why do you have to wake up and if you're uncomfortable eating at a certain like why is that another issue that Americans or the world is having that is but we're being told that you should be eating and that's one fight. This is funny we've never brought this up. That's one fight that I've always had with the people that I love in my life where I've always had to say like, "Hey, I know you think I need to be eating, but I am good." It's like, "Oh, you should be. You should. You need." Like, so at what point, is that getting in the way maybe of people's decision making and their thought process
no. No, because it is a biological fact. It is a biological fact. They have literally done studies on this.
to break the fast?
No, I'm not talking about fasting
No,
because you're talking about
breakfast.
something very
What
specific.
I mean, breakfast,
Yes,
breaking the fast.
correct, right?
I know. From
Fasting is
dinner
not
to
part of the
breakfast. From dinner to breakfast.
right? And the other thing is people the reason I said take out all the people that think they're fasting at 12 hours, that's a normal regiment that someone typically does in every day, right? You finish eating at 8,
That
9
is,
o'clock.
you said yes.
Yes, you
Okay.
finish eating
Okay.
at 8, 9 o'clock, and then you're
Okay.
eating when you wake up in the morning. Typically, not all the time, but typically that's about 12 hours for most people,
Sure. Sure.
right? So saying that, oh, I'm fasting and I did 12 hours, like that's not fasting. You're not
Sure.
getting the benefits out of the fast at 12 hours. You're getting the lower parts of the benefit at fast at 16 hours, which is why a lot of people do 16 every single day
Hmm.
because you can still train your body to not 100% need or you can train your body not to have the signals and the chemical processes of your body, your ghrelin, your amylin, telling your body, like, I'm hungry, I need food, I need energy. You can override that process by continuing to have mental fortitude and wait till 16 hours,
Hmm.
which is what you're doing, right? You've basically trained your body to override those signals to your body or to your brain saying, hey, we need energy. So here's the other aspect to this, because we know this for weight loss too, right? So if someone is not getting enough calories, if they don't eat tons of calories throughout the day, whether they're fasting, whether they're eating breakfast and then not really eating anything till dinner, maybe they're inconsistent throughout the day and when they're actually getting energy, because remember, calories are energy. Okay. We know that your body stores that energy for later when it doesn't really know when it's going to get energy again, which is why we have issues with weight loss with people because they're not consistent in whatever nutritional habits they have, right? One day they'll eat breakfast in the morning, but they'll eat like carbohydrate load with a bunch of fat and no protein. So they'll eat a little bit of calories, and then they won't eat again till 2, 3 o'clock on their lunch break. Okay. That's a long window of not getting a lot of energy. As soon as this is how I understand it, as soon as you take that first bite, okay, you introduce that first bite into your mouth, the enzymes on your tongue and your mouth send signals to your brain. Okay, we can start utilizing energy, but you're only getting 50 calories because you're eating a rice cake and peanut butter. You're
Mhm.
only getting 100 calories or 150 calories because you're not eating much food with sustenance.
Yeah.
Or you're getting 100 and some calories because you're getting a Starbucks coffee with all this sugar in it. But then you don't eat anything again for 5, 6 hours. That's a long window. And within that window, if that window is not the same every single day, or if you don't have consistency in giving enough calories throughout the day to your body's going to go into starvation mode and just store things. Anything that is stored over time is a lot of times going to be stored as fat, break down into fat. So because biologically this is what happens to animals that hibernate. They eat a crap load of food right before hibernation. So they have tons of energy to sustain themselves during hibernation. They don't just wake up every day when they're trying to hibernate and go eat more energy, go
Mhm.
consume more energy, right? It's the same thing with human beings on a different process for sure. Um, that's why the intermittent fasting thing is so interesting. And for you, Graham, I would 100% say, just like all of your friends, you aren't probably eating enough calories. You're probably not getting enough energy that you need. Maybe I'm wrong because I've never tracked it for you, but when you are thinking that small of a window and thinking about like, okay, well, this person probably needs close to 2,000 to 2,500 calories. Are you consuming that between 6 and 10 p.m.? That's a 4-hour
So
window
it
of you're getting a lot of intake of energy at one time.
yeah.
And then again, I don't know. You have been doing this for a long time. Your body has acclimated to it. So whether you're getting the benefits of it or not, I would imagine you are getting the benefits of the fast. But whether you're getting the not getting the benefits of, I don't know. It's an interesting
So
thing because some people can do it and some people can't. I have
okay.
literally worked with people. Hold on, one thing. I've literally worked with people and we've tried to implement fasting because fasting is also really good to reset the system. You fast for 16, 18 hours and it can start to help reset the system and help with bloating, help with it just has so many great benefits. But I've worked with people like that and they're like, "Oh, I have no energy in them at 5:30 in the morning when I'm trying to work out. I have no energy in the morning when I'm trying to get ready for a meeting. I have no energy for this. I have no energy for that. I don't have enough energy throughout the day." I'm like, "Okay, well, that is why that the research says that getting energy right when you wake up turns on your metabolic processes. Your body's going to burn energy way faster in the morning when you actually give it energy." I'm done.
I I just think everything is I do really genuinely think this is all so mental. So really quickly, and I'm not a very smart person. Okay, there are 24 hours in a day, right? You say the average person fasts for 12 hours. It makes sense, right?
I
Like
mean,
because no,
give or
hold
take.
on, stop. Because you have dinner at a certain time and you eat breakfast, right? But you're
Mhm.
saying there's a massive, massive change if you wait 6 more hours to 18. Like, so you're saying 12 to 18 hours, 6 hours. You're saying that's a massive difference in what your body's okay. That's the answer, yes, right? Have you ever hung out with somebody that has like high metabolism and they're always eating and they're like, I need to sit like I'm live low blood sugar. Like you know what I'm talking about? That type of person. Like, is that all
Mhm.
bullshit? Like, so exactly. So I don't understand that the complete opposite of me is the complete opposite. I think it's just mental. It can't be. Dude,
It's somewhat mental,
you
right?
it
I will go
hold on,
there
hold on,
with
hold
you.
on, really quick.
100
This is why
100%.
I'm
Yeah, yeah.
saying I always where I'm laughing at the mental fortitude thing. I'm not laughing, but I get it. But I just think of it in the terms of like survival. Like, do you realize how long you can go without eating? Like, as long as you have water, like,
100%.
so when I laugh when I see people that or I hear that, like, I don't have energy. Like, what the fuck do you mean? You just went out for like, you just you have plenty of that. Like, I don't understand. You have plenty of calories on board. You have all the energy stored up in the world. Like, why? Why? Because you said that's true. That is true. Why? Why? Because
It could
again,
be a
your
lot of
body gets used to a certain intake happening at all times, or
Well, that's part of it, right? So there's a lot of things in this, Graham, right? And you have to remember with yourself, you didn't get to this place just by snapping your fingers, right?
I guess I didn't think of it that way.
Over time, you have trained your body to function
Okay,
on the amount of calories that you have coming
okay,
in,
that's
regardless if
fair.
it's enough or not. You've trained your body to function every single day on that many calories, right?
Hmm.
Even as a diabetic and someone that goes out and runs. So your body is metabolically okay with the calories that you're consuming. Again, whether it's enough or not, I don't know because we haven't tracked your calories. So that's an important
That
piece.
why does that matter at this point? Like I'm like,
Because
what would
if
that
you're only
change?
getting 1,000 because if you're only getting 1,000 calories a day within that
Yeah,
4-hour window, I would tell you 100% that is not enough calories
I'm
for
not,
you.
bro.
It's just
Anybody,
not.
I'm getting more than 1,000 without a doubt, dude. Without a
Okay,
doubt.
we just threw that out. We threw that number out there.
Yeah, bro. Without a doubt.
I'm throwing that number out there. So
I always say
don't be
this.
mad
I'll
about it.
end up having, a bowl of cereal, and I'll have some fig bars or granola bars. I'll have ice
Yeah,
cream.
yeah.
Like, I'll have I'm not
But
a
you also have to
great.
remember the quality of the calorie, because this is the other piece that we didn't actually talk about yet. Because you're saying, like, how does this person not have enough energy? Well, this is how that person doesn't have enough energy. Some person that eats 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 calories a day and still doesn't have energy, most of that is ultra processed foods, I would imagine, right? Unless this is some bodybuilder, unless it's someone that's on a specific nutritional diet, like those type of people, I guarantee they have energy. It's the people that eat a crap load of calories or a little bit
Okay.
calories,
Okay.
and they don't have energy. That's because of, I would make the argument, probably it's because of the quality of their calories.
Regardless of when they eat it, regardless of when they consume it.
Regardless of when they eat it, yeah.
Got it.
Because you got to think about, like, if you're eating tons of carbohydrates, whether you're a diabetic or not, you're gonna have this big insulin spike and then you're gonna crash. I don't have energy. I just gave myself 500, 600, 700 calories, but I'm so tired. It's because 90% of those calories, or we'll just say a large amount of percent of those calories, were ultra processed or all carbohydrates. And we know
Hmm.
carbohydrates are going to break down into sugar. It's going to spike your blood sugar, and then you're going to have this big ass crash. Okay. So this is the other piece that we have to remember in this conversation. The quality of the calories matter. Just like the quality of the carbohydrate matters, the quality of the fat matters, the quality of the protein matters. Are you getting enough fiber? All of that stuff matters.
Hmm.
So for someone that's eating periodically throughout the day, like I do, like I'm focused on all of those things. Am I getting enough protein in this meal that I'm consuming? Okay, I haven't eaten in 2 or 3 hours. My body's hungry. I'm getting hunger cues because my body knows that it's going to eat, it's going to get energy throughout the whole entire day, not just in a 4 hour window. So, because it knows that it's going to get energy not within a 4 hour window, it's going to get energy all day long. It's going to burn calories all day long. It's going to keep my metabolism going all day long.
Yeah.
That's how your metabolism works. And when you eat
If
in a 4 hour window, you're not burning energy at a high rate. But again, in your case, you've basically trained your body, like, hey, we only need to survive on this many calories. We only need to survive on X, whatever X is. The quality or non-quality, whole foods, processed foods, ultra processed foods, and the amount of calories that you're actually getting. So you've trained your body to be able to sustain itself on that.
ha-
And to your other point, which is really interesting, what this other point that you made was about the fact that you can go so long without food. Yeah, it's like what, 3, 4 days that you can go without food? Maybe 5, like I don't know. I don't even know what the number is now that you can go without food. Like
mhm.
100%, because like your body can sustain itself on the calories that it got 3, 4 days ago. But if you're constantly doing the same things every single day, your body's going to adapt to whatever that process is. Your body has adapted to what you're doing in a 4 hour window. My body has adapted to what I'm doing in a 12-hour window, a 10-hour window, whatever my eating window is, right? And the difference between that, like for me, if I wanted to get to 4 hours like you, it would have to be a periodical thing over weeks and weeks and weeks. Okay, today I'm gonna do a 15 to 16-hour fast. Okay, cool. I did that.
Hmm.
I felt like shit. It was really hard to do. Okay, I'm gonna do that for 2 or 3 days, maybe even a week. The next week, okay, maybe I can go to 17, 18 hours. And I'm gonna periodically try to get to 18. And there's gonna be some days I'm like, oh my God, this is awful. Right. And that's where we were talking about earlier, where the mental fortitude comes in.
How I think I've asked you this before. How often do you not eat if your blood sugar is perfect?
I don't ever not eat if my blood sugar is perfect. I always eat if I want to eat.
So like that, boom, just the way this screen is split right here is how we live our lives so differently. Like three
But why are
times
you
it
not eating? But are you not eating based off of because you want to keep that blood sugar? Or are you eating based off of like, "Hey, my blood sugar is
Correct.
good. I really don't need to eat right now, so I'm not gonna eat." Because that's 2 different things to me.
Oh, no, 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 it's the second, but it's the first.
It can't be both, Graham. It can't be both.
This is throwing me for a loop because I'm while you talk, I'm going over my life, like when and where,
Yeah.
why did any of this ever start? But it's always been, I always tell you, it's mental. It's always been, I almost look at it as like thrifting. Like I'm thinking of the cheapest options I can find to give myself
Yeah.
like the
Yeah,
best
yeah.
life, like, right? And like, as you're talking, I do wonder because we talk about TFD, all like TFD, I always think about like, we don't talk about that, but I always think about that. Like, what if every type 1 diabetic who was struggling, I came and delivered a message to you, and all it said was that it's like, just have a tolerance to wait. What if that was the trick? And like, it's
Then we would all die. We would
well,
all
that's what I
die.
think about, and I want no one, and like, do argue that type 1 diabetes will always fall unison into life and culture and like everything that's happening in the world around us, because everything that we're talking about are these big picture items that are like, these are what the executives are talking about with these GLP-1s and these like, I saw it again last night. Lily, a little fucking vial of insulin on the TV with parachutes, and everybody's happy at parachutes. Like a confetti and like happiness, and like, it was just never that way. Like, the world has changed, and even this was empty. I have it in my fridge. All that it really changed were people's mental cues. It's like, it's these mental cues that are.
But sometimes you can't control those mental cues, and we've
This is
talked
what
about
I'm
this.
saying. Hold on, but if it meant TFD, what if it meant TFD? What if it just meant what you said? Like, be uncomfortable, but know that, I don't know, willpower, and just like, I don't know. I always see it as, it's really, really fucking hard to work out every day because of life, blah blah blah. But
Mhm.
it is no excuse to just not. You don't have to eat. Just do your thing. Get your blood sugar set. This is me. This is me talking to Grant, by the way. Get
Mhm.
your blood sugar set. For whatever reason, I'm stuck at 160 today. I don't know. I don't fucking care. I just move on. Like, you also don't drink black coffee, right? Black
No.
coffee is, talk to anybody that fasts. Black coffee, bro. Just just zipping and sipping. You can get it.
Because biologically, it's giving you a dopamine hit of energy.
People drink
So
decaf.
you
It's
so
like,
you can override so you can
and
the
do
way
what it
I think
takes to
about black coffee
override.
and
Do what it takes
caffeine,
to override.
but you're synthetically overriding a biological process. That's my only thing. I'm not saying it's the wrong thing to
But this is
do.
the but this is
I'm
the but
just
this is
saying
the
you're
overlying question. This is the overlying question. What is the most important thing? And
your
for
overall
me,
health.
that's blood sugar control. So
Yeah, but
if
so
I have like
here's my
if I have a
question.
little bit of coffee that is a naturally, these are beans that are being processed and roasted, like a little bit of coffee, a little bit of this to make this go up, it brings your overall health higher, right? It was what
So
I
you're talking
said
about
last episode.
a little bit of coffee to bring your blood sugar up or decrease your blood sugar?
No, no, no. A little bit of coffee to not give you those hunger cues, to not worry about the eating now. To like, I tested my blood sugar, knowing I'm sitting down with Ken at 2 p.m. I tested my blood sugar at 1:30. I was happy with it. Came in, did some notes, checked some emails. We're gonna sit down until 3. I'm not even doing it now. I had a little shot of like espresso, and then I walked in here. I'm not thinking about that. I had the coffee to offset the need for eating, I guess.
Yeah, but you're not offsetting the need for eating, though. That's not what's actually happening. I don't think that's what's actually I think we did say that earlier, so yeah,
Well,
okay, so here's my question. I just
there
wanna
is
ask you this
a
one
there.
question, and then
Go ahead.
I wanna hear your side of this after this one question.
Well,
Okay?
okay.
Good. Finish your
I
thought.
just think it's important to say also that has always been a structure. Black coffee has always been a part of my daily.
Yeah, which is fine, which
After
is
the
fine.
workout, I do creatine, and I take what I'm usually sipping on by this is electrolytes and creatine post workout, and then yeah, there's going to be some coffees. But I have
Yeah.
decaf like, I have decaf available. I choose not to drink it, but
Yeah, decaf I would not drink decaf coffee.
okay.
If
But
you're
that's
drinking
all I want
coffee,
to
you might as
say.
well
It's
drink
also a
caffeine.
a very that is a strict part of the. Not, it's not like I'm like, oh, this has to happen so I don't eat. It's just I've always been like, well, my blood sugar is perfect. I'll have a cup of coffee.
So here's for me, if I'm in your space, this is my red flag to myself.
Uh huh.
Okay. My question to you is, are you not eating and consuming energy? Because that's what food is, energy. Are you not eating and consuming energy because your blood sugars are perfect and you don't want to mess up your blood sugars? Or are you not consuming that energy because you are overriding the process or overriding the habit of wanting to have energy, trying to override the signals, the biological signals of hunger with coffee, with exercise, with going from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, so you don't have to worry about it, right? That's the question. Because if it's the second, I'm on board. If it's the first, I'm not on board. Because when we make decisions about living our life that are directly impacted because we're making a decision about our blood sugars, for me, that is a red flag. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, of all the things of how you know how I think, right?
Yeah.
You would know
Yeah.
why I would think that's not a good thing. For you, okay, it works. I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you that it doesn't work because it clearly works. For you, it wouldn't work for me because I understand the value of energy, of
Yeah.
eating food.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't get that same response from coffee. You can't get that same response from fasting. You just can't. If you're getting enough calories that the calories that your body needs to maintain its function and to work at a high level on in every aspect of your life in 4 hours, 100% keep doing it. If you're not, and your body's in starvation mode or your body's in some type of mode, whatever that mode might be, then the 4 hours every single day is not the right decision to me because your body needs energy to function throughout the day. There's the thought process of your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate. How many calories does your body actually need every single day just to maintain bodily function? So if you sat your ass in front of the TV and just basically used the clicker all day long, didn't get up for all of you out there who are sedentary and just literally 9 to 5 at your desk, whether it's in person or remote, okay? Those are the calories that your body basically needs to maintain that functionality throughout the entire day. When you start adding exercise, when you start adding activities, when you start adding going out with your friends, when you start adding partying, when you start adding all the other things that are happening in your life, your body needs more calories, more energy to do those specific tasks. In Graham's world, he does the same types of things every single day. So he's learned how many calories his body has basically been able to figure out a low amount of calories or a moderate amount of calories or the right amount of calories that his body needs to maintain functionality throughout the day. And then the other thing that Graham does that I've always gave him high praise for is Graham has insane amount of mental fortitude. He just does. With everything he does, there's an insane amount of mental fortitude. You do, man. You got an insane amount of mental fortitude. You put your mind towards something, you're gonna fucking do it. That's a very small part of the population. And Graham has not been able to get to where he is now with eating in a 4-hour window overnight. It's taken him probably years to get to that point where his body is functioning and the optimal ranges, the optimal ways, because he's getting a certain amount of calories in a certain amount of time, and his body knows that. His body knows, like, okay, I'm predominantly going to get all of my energy for this day that we just basically the day's probably pretty much over from 6 to 10, right? So now that we have all this energy, now we have to get through digestion throughout the night. We have to store and save all this energy for tomorrow because we know we're not getting enough energy. We know we're not going to get energy until 6 p.m. tomorrow. This is what your body's telling itself at 10 p.m. when you stop eating. Okay, we're good. We got all the energy that we needed now. We can save all this energy for tomorrow
Hmm.
and we don't need any more, right? So therefore, the biological signals of hunger, okay, they don't happen from 10:01 to 5:59. They don't really happen because you've trained your body that they don't need you. We're not going to consume calories at that time frame. My body's going to be telling me at 12 p.m. if I didn't eat anything since 8 p.m. the previous night. Like, what the hell are you doing, dog? Give us some freaking energy.
Mhm.
Especially, you're about to go work out too. Are you dumb? Give us some freaking energy. Stop. We need some, please. That's what my body's telling me with all the signals. Like grumbling, the stomach's grumbling. You get those like hunger cues in your stomach and like in your brain. You're like getting freaking out, like whatever the symptoms are, right? That's what my body's going to tell me if I'm fasting past freaking 10, 11 o'clock. It's hard, but to get pet, like let's say that the signals start happening at 10 and I want to fast till 12, which is almost just about 16 hours for me, typically. If I want to do that, the mental fortitude has to happen probably around 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. or 10 a.m. to when I'm going to give in and start eating till that 16-hour window.
How often in your career, how many times do people talk how difficult culture plays into eating, their
Oh, all the
culture, their
time.
back? So
All the
yeah,
time.
like tell me, like,
All the time.
go ahead, like give me like an
All the
example. Like,
time.
yeah.
Well,
Is it because of
mhm.
like, is it, and I already know the answer because I'm like you and I studied abroad. It's because certain cultures eat at certain times of the day, right? So like there are certain meals that are
Well, also based off the
valuable.
religion, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Culture, religion. All right, yeah, yeah. So what, living
Yeah.
in Columbus, Ohio, this is a great question.
Well, and what
Yeah,
and we will talk about one of them is one of the easiest ones to talk about. And not again, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that this is the culture, the Indian culture. What do they eat a shitload of? Rice.
yeah, sure, sure, sure.
And all that fucking rice with almost every with
Yeah, but
I
rice
mean,
isn't
I'm
processed.
not
I
gonna
always wonder about rice because rice isn't. It's enriched, but it's not processed.
but
No,
enriched is a processing part of
is it? Is
that
it?
process.
But okay, okay. So why aren't
It's highly
vegetables
processed.
enriched? Like why aren't vegetable? This is. I'm not. Again, I'm not very smart. Why aren't vegetables enriched, but rice is enriched, or
I don't know if I've ever
potato?
really heard vegetables being called this is an enriched vegetable.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, what's the difference in like why? Like, what's if rice is growing naturally? Like, why is it so? Like, obviously potatoes because they're fried and like people change the
Well, yeah, yeah,
whole.
yeah, yeah.
But why
Yeah, so
rice?
when you
Like, why
change the
rice?
molecules because we're just like wheat, we
Hmm.
take wheat from the plant, right? We grab all the wheat, we pull all the wheat, but then we're also putting other things into the wheat, other chemicals, other things into the wheat, and
Sure,
pulling out things that are healthy for that wheat product
sure.
to make it last longer, to make it taste
Nobody
better,
eats
whatever
wheat
it might
outright.
be.
Nobody eats wheat outright, though.
Correct, right? And rice is the same process, right? They're taking rice and they're enriching it with other things to for flavor, for color, for,
Is this in the
make
like
it
in the
last
growing
longer, whatever it
process?
is.
In the growing
No,
process,
it's in
or
the plant. That would be in the
okay,
plant, yeah.
got it.
I'm pretty sure. Don't quote
Okay.
me on that.
No, this is
I'm
great.
pretty
I've
sure
always
I'm
wondered
pretty
this.
sure it's in the plant, right? And that's how every processed food is, right? So if you think about my continuum, food continuum that I'm always talking about, right? On the very left side, we'll give a very short, high level explanation of this so we can understand this as we're talking about this. So I call this the food continuum. For me, it's everything on how I think about eating, right? So on the very far left, you think about a line that goes straight across your screen, right? On the very far left, we've got whole foods. In the middle, we've got processed foods. On the far right, we've got ultra processed foods, right? So you go
Okay.
from whole foods to processed foods to ultra processed
Which is
foods.
like white bread, which is like white bread as ultra processed.
Correct, right?
Got it.
You draw a line straight down the word processed foods,
Sure.
right? So then you have line on the left side of processed and you have line on the right side of processed.
Hmm.
The closer from processed to whole foods you get, the cleaner it's going to be. Still might be processed. Here's an example. We like to get the girls chicken nuggets and fries. We get them from Costco or we get them from Whole Foods. There are specific chicken nuggets that don't have all the extra bullshit in it.
Hmm.
Still processed food, but doesn't have all the extra bullshit in it. It's going to be on the left side of the equation. right? On the left side of process, right? Closer to whole food. You look at doing the same exact thing at McDonald's, chicken nuggets. It's going to be on the ultra processed side, pretty damn close to ultra processed
Okay.
because that chicken is not real chicken. It's
Mm,
processed fucking chicken.
okay.
So now you can have the same exact food, but they're on completely different sides of the spectrum.
Mhm.
They're going to digest different. They're going to have a inflammatory response or not inflammatory response totally different. So those all of that stuff matters. And we'll take like the ultra processed chicken could be lower calories than the processed really good for you chicken.
Mhm.
Could have less calories. So then people are going to make the decision. Oh well, you know, I can go eat these chicken nuggets. I can go eat these other chicken nuggets because they are lower calories. Just
Yeah.
because it's lower calories doesn't mean shit.
Sure.
Just like because it says organic on the label doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
It might not really be organic. So like these things are important when we think about like how do we think about the foods that we're consuming? Because remember, it's not just about the calories. The calories don't even really matter to me. It's about the quality of the carbohydrate, the fat, and the protein.
Yeah.
Because the only reason for that is because when you eat more on the ultra processed side of that continuum, of that food continuum, there is going to be more of a problem with the digestive process. You're going to have a bigger inflammatory response. When we think about diabetes, what is one of the biggest things that can jack your blood sugar up? Having an inflammatory response, sickness,
Mhm.
injury, food wise, digestive problems. That is going to jack your sugar up. So, why not take the same exact food that we were talking about, a chicken nugget, and make it as clean as possible and not get a huge inflammatory response and jack up your blood sugar? This is how we think about food. This is how we should be eating and thinking about the calories that we're consuming. I hope that made
Well,
sense.
more so, it shouldn't scare people to listen to a 1-hour podcast of nerdy talk like this because I get no, at the end of the day, it's true because you probably don't even remember what we're talking about. I was asking you about cultural, and you went down a rant about rice, and now you don't
Well,
even
but
know.
okay, so let's bring it back to culture then. Let's bring it back to culture.
I was
Thank you
gonna
for
say
bringing me
you don't
back to
even know where
culture.
we are. I know you're like fucking
Right? Thank you
recycling.
for bringing me back to culture, right? So when we were talking about the Indian population and
You
all of the
mentioned
rice that they're
rice.
consuming,
Uh,
right? All of the rice that they're consuming, right? You can take any population,
hmm
any cultural
Yeah,
population, the
mine Puerto
food,
Rican. Yeah, rice is a hard one.
right?
Go ahead.
Right?
Go ahead
Rice
on
is
the
a
rice
hard
one.
one,
Go ahead.
right? So
Yeah.
so when you think about rice, what type of rice? Well, it should be jasmine or some long chain rice because that's less processed and it's going to be digested way faster and and much easier from
Okay.
what I understand about that type of rice. But what are most people getting? White rice, brown rice. Heck, you can get I mean, there's vegetable rice coming out where the rice is being made out of vegetables like
Yeah.
beets.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got the purple rice. You know what I mean? So you're still taking rice, but is the rice that you're consuming the white rice for your digestive system? Because that's what it's all about. It doesn't matter, like to me, it doesn't matter if I say white rice is better than brown rice. If white rice inflames your system and brown rice doesn't, eat brown rice.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, I can't,
What up?
regardless of what we think nutritionally and quality of health out of a product, if that product inflames your system, then you shouldn't eat it. Or you should at least minimalize it, right? Is that a word? Minimalize?
Yeah. So only because we have a few more minutes. My question though is this is always something I not used to. I have is in my culture they're eating at particular times that might not suit me. Is that not a
Mhm.
complaint for like is that not something you've heard from people that it's well in my culture they're always eating or they insist like go ahead. Go ahead. That's what
Yeah.
I'm go ahead.
100%, which is why people will do it in period. If we're going back to intermittent fasting,
Mhm.
which is why people will do it, those cultures will do it at specific times for a specific duration. It's not part of their lifestyle. So it's different. Most people that are doing intermittent fasting is part of trying to lose weight or trying to reset the system or trying to get healthier or whatever. Most people that are doing intermittent fasting are not like you, Graham, and it's part of their lifestyle,
Yeah, I
right?
know.
So, like, we have to
But I'm
think
still
about that
laughing
piece
at
too.
that 'cause I don't even know if that's I guess my whole grand point is, and for me, especially culturally, I've literally had to say to, like, my mother-in-law, "Stop, stop. I do not need breakfast. I do" like, despite what you think, like, so I always wonder
Mhm.
if it's just the pressure that people are being put on where it's like, and you don't, I don't know where this all started. I think for a lot of people, that's when they say, like, where did you lose control? When did it go? And they don't know. It just became so. And
Yeah.
I always hear of this. This is the thing with these GLPs and turning off the food noise and the hunger. Like really, that's all. That's all that it fucking took was just you to turn that off. So
Yeah, it is.
I guess for
Biologically, it
me, for
is.
me, for me, the jury's still out. I'm watching. I am really, really, really intently watching it because I don't know. I just maybe, maybe the cultural aspect was the best thing for me personally because I
Maybe
had
it
no
was.
choice but to like defend myself. Dude, I've literally had to like fucking defend myself.
Yeah, 100%.
If I was eating every time, if I was eating every time someone thought I needed to be eating, I'd be I'd be fucked up, bro. So I don't know. I think it's a very interesting topic. I think it's funny that again, one little topic got us going down this, but
Yeah, but it's good. We haven't really talked about this before.
TFD for life, dude. I might make T-shirts now that we talk about this. TFD for life, dude.
Yeah. Unfortunately, everybody can't say that they
I
have that
I think the most important
or they
thing,
understand how to deal with that.
but I think the most important thing that you remind me of is I don't see it that way. Like I don't see it as that. I
Yeah,
see it as like it's what's
because you've
necessary.
been able to accomplish it.
It's just
You've
what
been able to
I don't
do
know
it.
any different. I don't know any different than testing my like
That's a
I
good
said,
way.
like
That's a good way to put it too.
I don't know any fucking different, bro. It's what I was taught, what I was told, what I've learned to fear the most, right? So,
Yeah. Good stuff, man.
yeah, bro.
This has been good, man. Wow. I did not think today was gonna go off in that tangent. I had some other stuff that I wanted to talk about today too, but, we'll push it off to the next
I could
to
have
the
gone in a
next
million directions while you were talking. I was just following my train
Yeah,
of thinking as it was happening. I was like, it is, yeah.
yeah,
We just like engaged
yeah,
in like he's like black out. He's like black out and just like go out. That was
yeah.
pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Good
Intermittent
one.
fasting to cultural differences.
This is the only time we're gonna talk this week too, right? So, and then you're off to camp, right? So,
Yeah, I'm off to camp. Yeah, so everybody will be back here in a couple weeks. But we got some episodes recorded, and I'll get I will get some solo episodes recorded as well for when I am gone. Because I want to keep everyone engaged in the conversations of what we're talking about, and again, trying to inspire you to think differently about how you manage diabetes, just like we did with Graham today. We got Graham's thought process about intermittent fasting, and I don't necessarily agree with it, but it works for him, right? And it's fine. It works for him. Just like I don't necessarily agree with him going on GLP-1, but you never know. Only time will tell if it works for him. Just like you, that wouldn't
I
be
don't
the
think it's
first
doing
place.
any. I'm not
All the
gonna lie.
listeners.
I don't think it's doing fucking anything because I don't have
Well,
that.
you're a very
I
low
don't think I
dose
have
though.
the problems that that's what I'm real. I don't
It's
have the
not
issue.
about a problem though. It's not about problems.
Nah,
It's
it's
not about
mental. I don't
problems.
have
It's
any.
not
I've never.
mental. Take away the mental. Take away the mental. It's not a
It
mental problem. It's
is
a
Ken.
biological thing. It's a biological thing.
You've researched you've researched these.
I have.
It's just turning off something in the brain. Like that's what these drugs are.
It's not. That's not the only thing it's doing.
Okay.
It's one thing it's doing.
Okay.
It's not the only thing it's doing.
All right.
It's one thing.
To be
And it's not
discussed.
turning it off. It's not turning it off. It's
Okay.
helping to regulate it.
Right.
That's the difference.
Well, I'm
So,
regular.
anyways, what I was going to say is all of you who are thinking about GLP-1, all of you who are maybe on GLP-1, it wouldn't be the first place that I would start with you,
Yeah.
but maybe it works and maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's a good option, maybe it's not a good option. So we all have to kind of think about that and from our own perspective and think about, do I want this extra support? Because that's what it could potentially be, is support, nothing less. So,
This I do. I will say though, and I think about this all the time. You ever heard the 21-day rule? Like do it for 21 days and it becomes a habit. discomfort cuts itself in half day after day after. Like it does not.
It does.
Discomfort is not forever. Just like someone said to me, like I've had mental places where I'm low. Like you're just in a low. Like this won't last. You feel like everything. It will not last. Like it will. It
Yeah,
will.
but like you said, uncomfortability is like hard to deal with. I
Well, it
mean, we
depends
talked
what
about
it
that
is.
too.
Like if something's genuinely off, like if something's off, like something's off. But if it's just like, yeah, I do it, bro. You know, I say it all the time.
Yeah.
Gym's empty. Gym's empty every day, bro. There's only a few people there, and there's a lot of people in the world, man. So like, you fucking write your own destiny, bro.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
Don't
man.
excuses. You know, excuses are for the mirror.
They are. You're right. You're
I say that
100%
every
right.
day too.
We all have to look in the
Leave them
mirror
for the
and
mirror. Leave them for the mirror.
yep, we all have to look in that mirror and hopefully being honest with ourselves, ask ourselves if am I making an excuse right now? Because that's the biggest thing. People will say, I'm not making excuses, but then they're not being honest with
Yeah,
themselves. So yeah, I don't know. Thank you
yeah,
everybody for
yeah,
listening.
bro.
Graham, you're amazing. Great topic. Hope you guys enjoyed today's topic. If you don't follow the show, if this is your first episode, make sure you follow the show on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Is pretty much where we're at. We're and on all the other platforms, but that's pretty much where everyone's listening to us at. And leave a review for this episode. If you like this episode, give us a 5-star review. Let us know what you think, and let us know if you want to hear any other topics, and we'll put them on the docket and we'll start talking about them. So, thank you so much, everybody, for listening, and we will see you next time.